Welcome, I'm the Ruttinator, long-time sci-fi fan, and I have something to say about the latest series of Doctor Who. That's the 2018 season. I don't like it. Please let me explain. When I heard that Jodie Whittaker was taking the reins, I actually didn't mind. She has played fine roles in Venus, Broadchurch and Trust Me, and has genre experience with her appearance in Netflix series Black Mirror. The gender flip of the Doctor, though controversial, gave the Doctor an extra layer of alienness, which I liked. But, as the new series panned out, I began to realise that Jodie Whittaker was the wrong person for the role. So I started trawling back over interviews I had seen, and this confirmed what I suspected. She had been miscast. I don't hold her responsible. She was offered the role of a lifetime, and she took it. But why was she so bad for the role? First, let's look at why she was cast. Good old-fashioned nepotism. As the Radio Times article implies, when Chris Chibnall took the reins of the BBC flagship show, he did so as long as he could cast a female in the title role. I'm not sure who else was auditioned, but I do not feel it was a coincidence that he had A. worked with Jodie Whittaker in the past, and B. she knew a number of actors who had been associated with Doctor Who.
Half of the room I knew because of Broadchurch.
Obviously being British and then becoming an actor and having lots of friends who are in it or have been the Doctor.
Secondly, although she claims to be a new Whovian, she does not seem to be a fan of the show, admitting that Doctor Who was never on in her house growing up.
I'm a new Whovian, so, this wasn't a show that was on in my house growing up. And
so why take the role?
The announcement is ace and I'll dine out on it forever. It'll be celebrated. Obviously, for me, I'll be dining out on it forever. But
the good old-fashioned meal ticket. And despite what she says in this Radio Times article, when I was younger and said I wanted to be an actress, lots of people said, "Oh, you want to be famous?" No, I never wanted to be famous. I just wanted to be an actor, and that's one of the things that goes along with doing the work. She is continuously bragging about how many fans she didn't have to work for to get.
the wonderful thing is it's required us to do no work to have a fan base all over the world. The thing is, the show's been going for 55 years and it's this wonderful fan base that are all over the world that I've had to put no effort in to build up. You've got these fans before you've even put a second on film.
She seems not to care about the previous 54 years of canon, poo-pooing it, stating that you don't really need to know or understand the last 54 years to play the role.
I think there's a mythology that can happen with a show that has such a rich history that you need this encyclopedic knowledge to enter into it, and you don't.
Really? She cannot seem to let the gender or race thing go, as evidenced by this Radio Times article. New Doctor Who star, Jodie Whittaker. It's a mistake to think the only heroes are white men.
But I think for a small amount, it's always hard to let the previous Doctor go. I think when the previous 12 have been looked a little bit similar, not very similar, but a little bit.
What? Wait, let's hear that again.
Looked a little bit similar, not very similar, but a little bit.
What do you mean by that, Jodie? Are you saying that all white men look alike, Jodie? What do they call generalisations like that? Because this eclectic group of white men, which is, by the way, what you were going to say,
have been looked a little bit similar. Have been looked a little bit similar.
Couldn't look any more different from each other if they tried. And despite telling the Radio Times, the thing is, I never felt there was a glass ceiling to break, because I've never put a glass ceiling up there. When I was little, not looking like someone didn't stop me from looking up to them. I wanted to be Mickey in the Goonies, Atreo in Neverending Story. I didn't care. It was a boy playing the part. So why the virtue signalling about the fact that it's no longer a white male playing the role? Surely it shouldn't matter by that argument if it's a white male or a female, Jodie. Make up your mind. She said in a different article, "I'm proud," she says. "When I was growing up, it was the white guys running around, saving the day, doing really cool stuff. And as a girl, you were lucky if you just sat on the side and clapped. To be in the moment of change for that is incredibly exciting." What moment of change? What are we talking about, Jodie? There have been women heroes in science fiction for decades. When you're referring to moments, are we looking at geological timescales here? And now it isn't just attainable for half the population. The other half can be the Doctor as well. Girls will no longer just think, oh, I could be a companion. Being the first female Doctor and showing children that the heroes in shows don't always look the same is a huge honour for me. But Jodie, weren't you just saying that it didn't matter who they were, you were happy being Mikey and all the other different characters? Gender didn't come into it when you were using your imagination?
It's an odd one, being a woman. You end up talking about it in a way that I don't think men often talk about it. Like, I don't walk around going, oh, I'm a girl.
You do like to contradict yourself.
It's an alien with two hearts, but I am a woman.
It's as well Jodie doesn't have a Twitter account, because heavens knows what she'd say without prep. She makes enough of a stuff up of it when she knows what's coming. But her lack of insight into the universe has caused her to stumble in a number of interviews. For example, when asked about a scene in Woman Fell to Earth, all she had to say was, "This clip just covers the usual post-regenerative confusion which the Doctor undergoes after having every cell in her body changed and repaired. What we get is..."
Clip here. Can you tell us what's happening in this clip?
Oh, well, it's all a secret. I don't know. Yeah, I think the clip that you're allowed to see is it's on a train, and it features two of the friends in it, played by Mandip Gill and Tosin Cole. And you'll have to see it. I'm not allowed to tell you anything around it because I might spoil something before Sunday.
Okay.
She doesn't even understand the tech with the cannon.
If you had a sonic screwdriver in real life, what would you use it for?
Oh, I would use it for reading minds. It's hardest, but I would, for my own self, be translated into every language because I think even English speakers probably struggle with how thick my accent is. So it would be wonderful if I could just use the sonic and then be translated.
Interestingly, the woman doing the interviewing there is the great Ashley Eckstein, voice behind the memorable character Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars. What is this obsession with your accent?
I am from Huddersfield in West Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Yeah, it's really well hidden in my voice. You can't tell at all.
You're an actor, and if you're that concerned with it, change it for the role.
No, my favourite is, do you think you could tone it down? No.
Apparently you can, Jodie.
Shutting this out is not an option for me. I can't do that boxing thing off that you do.
But you cannot seem to hold an accent. As we see here, when in the same scene you suddenly flip into a Somerset accent.
I have to carry another life in me for 6 more months. Feeding off me, breathing from me, sharing my blood.
And she seems to feel the Doctor as some kind of MCU superhero.
What are the choices about?
Well, you take... The most important thing is it's got to be comfy, because there's a lot of superhero costumes out there that look sweaty and hot and a little bit uncomfortable. And
there's the chiselled superhero that we're used to seeing and we've all grown up with. But Doctor Who has never been that. How do you know? You were never a fan, remember? Which is wonderful. It's attainable in so many ways. Good old radio times. Well, that's all for now. I simply cannot stomach watching any more of this. Please click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And feel free to comment below, but keep it polite. So as I pop to my GP to get myself some antiemetics, I shall say thank you for listening. And please, stay safe, wherever your travels take you.